The teacher's bane, the instructor's woe, the educator's thorn in their side. You teachers out there know what I'm talking about. Grading assignments. I know this is a specific problem that primarily applies to teaching kindergarten through 12th grade or college and seminary education, but it is still something I hate about teaching Bible. Anyway, back to the topic. Grading assignments is a challenge. Ask any teacher out there, and I can almost guarantee you that the most disliked responsibility of teaching is grading assignments. First, grading takes time, and depending upon the assignment, grading can take either a few minutes or hours to get done. Second, grading is repetitive. Let's say you have a classroom of 30 students. That means you have to look at and grade the same 30 assignments, which gets boring quickly. Third, depending upon the homework assignment, grading and giving out grades for assignments can be unclear. Grading a 10 multiple choice question assignment is easy, since there is a right and a wrong answer. But what about short answer questions, essay questions, or a research paper where there can be more than one correct answer? Or what about a question that requires asking a student's opinion on a topic? How do you know if the student's answer is right or wrong? Fourth, assignments to grade pile up over time if not completed. The more ungraded assignments pile up, avoiding grading becomes increasingly tempting. Now, your students deserve to get back their assignments quickly. They're waiting for their grades, and they want to know where their grades stand. Students also need the feedback to help them do better than before for the next assignment. Students get anxious about where they stand in the class if assignments are not graded and return to them quickly. As a teacher, your sanity is important, and you should keep any mind-numbing work to a minimum. Teaching through a school semester is more like a marathon than a 50-yard dash. You're not trying to go 110% all the time. You've got to pace yourself. Similar to my other things I hate about teaching Bible, the best way to overcome this challenge is to have a strategy from the beginning. What strategies can I suggest to help you overcome the challenge of grading assignments? I would suggest the following strategies. Get disciplined. Set a schedule for grading and commit to it. Aim for a small and reasonable goal. Don't try to do a 3-hour grading marathon, as it will drain you mentally. Here are some suggestions for this. Grade for a half hour to an hour per day, Monday through Friday. Increase or decrease grading time depending on the assignment. If you are able, try to increase grading time as you get better and more disciplined at grading. Return assignments within 24 hours for easy assignments, no longer than 72 hours for difficult assignments. I remember when I first started to grade papers. I was new and I was more focused on learning to teach than anything else. I would grade on Saturdays in addition to making assignments for the week, which took up a lot of time. I look back on that time and realize I would have saved a lot of time by doing a little grading each day. Eventually, I learned to do this during my 4th year of teaching, and I found I got a lot of grading done if I committed to a half hour each day, Monday through Friday. Get smart. Design and use a grading rubric or an answer key. A rubric is a guide that defines the requirements for an assignment, typically used for essays or projects. An answer key is a list of correct answers to look for on an assignment, typically used for multiple choice, true or false, and short answer questions. Here is an example of a rubric that can be used for a 9th grade Old Testament survey final project. Minor Prophets in Class Presentation. Notice I break down the presentation into categories that the students must complete in their presentation and clearly explain what is needed to get points for that presentation. Now I know what to look for, and students know what they need to do for this project. Here is a small example of an answer key that could be used for 10th grade New Testament survey class. Notice that I highlight the correct answers, which allows for fast grading, and I put the amount of points each correct answer is worth. You can just put this answer key next to the homework and officially grade the assignment. When designing a rubric or an answer key, aim for these 2 points. 1. Clarity. Are the expectations for the rubric and answer key clear? 2. Conciseness. Keep the rubric and answer key simple. Don't make it overly complex. I remember grading assignments when I taught K through 12. I hated grading essay type assignments because I often didn't know what standard I should use for grading. In addition, I came from a seminary background, which brought the challenge of bringing my education down to the student's level. I had to really think about what I wanted students to learn. Over time, I developed rubrics for such assignments, and it made grading much easier than without one. Get minimal. Grade only what is necessary. Don't give out busy work or homework for the sake of giving out homework. It's draining on both you and the students. If an assignment is taking too long or it's exhausting for you to grade, you can go ahead and do the following. 1. Cut down the number of questions. You don't have to grade every question. If it's taking too long, just cut it down. 2. Recreate the assignment. Now, for recreating the assignment, I don't recommend doing this step until absolutely necessary. Especially don't do this during the semester. And if you have to do it, talk with your principal or supervisor about this. What do you all think? Are my solutions good? Are they bad? Do you have other ideas on grading assignments? Let me know in the YouTube comments. If you like what you saw and heard, then give a thumbs up. Or if you didn't like it, then give a thumbs down. Either way, I thank you for watching. And if you do like what you saw, subscribe to my channel. Until next time, stay theological.